first accepted paper. It is by 1 second. Yeah, it is by Sarita Vinod, Naveen, Anto, Ajay Raj, John, and Ashish K. Patra. So is it who is presenting? Is Sarita presenting?
Yes, Ashish, I'll be presenting today.
Okay, please go ahead and share your screen, Sarita.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thanks, Ashish. Uh, so, hello everyone. Good morning and good evening to all of you. So, in my talk today, I'll be talking about scaling to larger deep learning models and datasets and presenting key findings from our study more from a system platform viewpoint. So I believe the context is perfectly set with the key talk from Dr. Manish Gupta on specifically on some of the deep learning applications in healthcare and the use cases for large deep learning models for solving challenges in the healthcare segment. So in my talk, I would be touching upon one of the applications which we used for the study, which is basically for brain tumor segmentation and some of the characteristics that definitely impact the system design aspects for these large deep learning models. So let me define the problem statement and the main objectives that we targeted for this paper. Deep learning is now rapidly evolving, as we all know. Even though it is in the now pilot stages, there are many proven real-world use cases. So for these real-world challenges to be solved, the deep learning models need to scale beyond a single machine and move to distributed system to optimize the training time. Apart from this, the scaling of deep learning is also with respect to the number of training examples, the number of model parameters, and even the increase in the image resolutions used as input for these trainings, right? All these can drastically improve the training accuracy. And as you see here, now over time, there has been an emergence in large deep learning models with billions of parameters. Specifically, massive deep learning language models like BERT and GPT-2 had emerged with billions of parameters. And there were recent advancements in NLP, which outperformed the state of the art with 17 billion parameter language model named Turing NLG. So all these facts clearly establish the need for scaling to large deep learning models. While scaling is important, there are challenges to scale these models, especially with limited memory of accelerated hardware such as GPUs. The large parameter sizes and larger data sets increases the memory requirement. So this requires efficient memory management techniques that can overcome these limitations. However, these techniques are impacted by the system design and the capabilities that the platform offers where the training of these large models are performed. In this paper, we actually showcase these trends, now how these trends of accelerating towards large models in the current AI landscape will have an impact on the system design factors. For this, we studied the characteristics of two different deep learning models and compared the runtime characteristics across two different system platforms. So using these, we establish factors to be considered in the system design to accommodate the scaling requirements of these deep learning models. The DL is generally compute intensive. However, in this paper, we demonstrate two different models that become communication intensive now when scaling, and our results show potential communication bottlenecks, also advantages based on the system capabilities. So moving on to the methods now for overcoming these limitations. There are multiple existing methods which are designed for training large models that do not fit into the limited GPU memory. So one such method is TensorFlow large model support, which was discussed in the paper by Li et al. Published in 2018. So this method basically uses a data swap technique to exploit host system memory along with the GPU memory. So for this, it modifies the computational graph and inserts swap in, swap out operations. This will help to store the intermediate results in the system memory. So this introduces a performance overhead because of that additional data transfers, but this is reasonable given the benefits of memory scaling that can be achieved using this method. Another technique considered was recomputation using gradient checkpointing. And this was introduced by Chen et al. In their 2016 paper on training deep nets with sublinear memory cost. So this involves checkpointing the nodes and using it for recomputation, which obviously reduces the memory cost, but at a higher computational cost. And from prior art study, it was known that this method does not scale well for larger images. And there are also other papers on enabling models across CPU, GPU memories. For example, there was a paper from NVIDIA on virtualized DNN for scalable memory efficient neural networks. So in these cases, it involves data transfer to system host memory. So in our study, we have used the data swap technique from TFLMS for all the experiments that we discuss in this paper. So for the experimental study using TFLMS, we use two large-scale training problems. One is in medical imaging, and the other is in image segmentation. So the 3D unit CNN model is used for medical image segmentation, and this is basically for brain tumor segmentation analysis with high resolution 3D MRI images. So generally, medical image segmentation use cases need full-size images or higher patch sizes to improve the training accuracy. But due to the large memory requirement of these models and images, the deep learning trainings generally end up using smaller patch sizes, and this kind of worsens the training performance. So this model is actually a good use case that highlights memory scaling effect of the model and the data spread despite using smaller batch sizes. And so we use the Brad's challenge dataset with high resolution 3D MRI images for this experiment. And the second model that we used is DeepLab V3 Plus for semantic image segmentation. And this model basically focuses on identifying and localizing multiple objects in a single image. So this can be used for various tasks such as classification, detection, or segmentation. But as image resolutions used for segmentation task increases, the model cannot fit into the limited GPU memory. So DeepLab also has a higher parameter size than 3D unit, and it uses the Pascal VOC dataset. So this is another model that we have used to study the scaling impact for large resolutions. So I'll briefly touch upon the experimentation setup that we have used. So we have used two system platforms, one platform with NVLink connectivity. So NVLink is a high-speed CPU-GPU interconnect with around 150 GB per second bandwidth. And in this platform, each GPU is connected to the CPU socket with a dedicated NVLink. And the second platform is with PCIe connectivity, which is PCIe 3.0 with 32 GB per second bidirectional bandwidth between CPU and GPU. And in this platform, the system topology is such that two consecutive GPUs share the same PCIe switch connecting to the CPU socket. Both of these platforms uses NVIDIA V100 GPUs. So given the premise of the problem and the objectives of our study, let me take you through some of the key results from our experiments. We studied the runtime characteristics of the two DL models on the NVLink based platform and PCIe based platform. So by using TFLMS data swap techniques, we were able to scale the patch size used for 3D unit to 192 cube and also increase the image resolution to 600 by 600 for DeepLab V3 Plus. So this was made possible with the memory scaling capability and using the CPU memory, which also resulted in increased data transfers. So with this scaling, we measured and compared the communication and computation characteristics on the two platforms. So as you see from the table here, the CPU-GPU communication time on PCIe platform is drastically higher compared to the platform with high bandwidth link. So for 3D unit, around 76% of time is spent on communication in the low bandwidth platform compared to 27% on the high bandwidth platform. And this becomes more pronounced with Deep Lab, with around 89% of time spent on communication alone. And with Deep Lab, it is observed that scaling to large image resolutions is more communication intensive, with around half of the time spent on communication, even on the high bandwidth platform. And in addition to this, there are two key aspects that can be derived from these results, right? From an application standpoint, there are software overlapping techniques which can be improved, given that there is significant non-overlap communication that is happening in each of these models, right? And other thing that you can see from these results is that even when overlapping is possible, the ability to overlap is greatly impacted by the bandwidth available in the platform. The data shows that only 11% of communication is overlapped out of the 89% due to the low bandwidth available. So given that GPUs are expensive resources, it has to be ensured that GPU utilization is maintained and it is high for improving the overall throughput performance. But in contrast, it is seen that due to the communication bottleneck, it reduces the compute utilization and results in GPU starvation. So hence, from a system standpoint, it is critical to have a high bandwidth CPU-GPU communication link to improve the training performance. So moving on to the next characteristics that we studied. So we also looked at the data transfer between the CPU and GPU for both of these models. So we incrementally scaled the patch sizes used for 3D unit and the image resolution used for Deep Lab to study the data transfer sizes at each scale point. So the maximum image resolution that we use for Deep Lab is 600 by 600, and the patch size for 3D unit is 192 cube in this case. So from the data, it clearly shows the fact that with large model sizes and image resolutions, the data traffic between CPU GPU kind of increases drastically, and the data transfer size is actually seen to be based on a couple of factors, right? So the model parameter size, the image resolution, and also the batch size. So each of these models have different characteristics. 3D unit has 24 million parameters, and we are using a batch size of 1 in this case, whereas Deep Lab V3 is with 39 million parameters. So key takeaway is that TFLMS enables memory scaling beyond the available GPU memory. However, it incurs additional data traffic for CPU-GPU transfers. But the overheads are reasonable given the benefit of scaling, and also we saw that the underneath system platform capabilities play a key role in improving the performance. So finally, I would like to spend a few minutes to review the comparative application performance on both the platforms for training these large deep learning models. The platform with high bandwidth link is observed to perform better for both of these models. And as you see, the throughput for Deep Lab training with 4 GPUs using high resolution images is about 3x better. And similarly, for 3D unit, we have measured the training time per epoch on both of these platforms. And in each of these cases, irrespective of the number of GPUs used, the epoch time on the platform with high bandwidth link is now observed to be better. So there are two main system design aspects impacting the performance differences on these two platforms. So firstly, the high bandwidth CPU-GPU communication link through NVLink, and that has reduced the time taken for data transfer operations. And secondly, the system topology on the NVLink platform allows each GPU to communicate with the CPU using a dedicated NVLink. Whereas on x86 topology, there are two consecutive GPUs sharing the same PCIe switch, and that is also an aspect to reduce the bandwidth available per GPU. So the key objective of our experiments was to evaluate the characteristics of deep learning training problems that exceed memory capacity, and also establish the link to the system design factors for their performance. So let me summarize the key observations and recommendations here. So mainly there is a necessity for software techniques to be evolved for which can be used for scalable and efficient memory management. Methods like memory coherency and unified memory can also be evaluated. And the study clearly demonstrates the performance impact of system platform capabilities when scaling the deep learning models and datasets. So system designers need to consider these aspects like increased memory capacity for systems and accelerators. And in future, the high bandwidth communication technologies like PCIe Gen 5 or CXL has to be integrated to systems designed to tackle these large deep learning models. So nevertheless, with the AI landscape trending more and more towards deeper and wider models, it seems to be a race between the rate at which the model and dataset sizes increase in deep learning, and also the rate at which the communication technologies improve. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation, and thank you for listening to me. So I would be open for any questions.
Any questions for Sarita? Okay.
Sarita?
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So Sarita, let's say if there is a very high low latency access and individual access into the host memory, would you prefer to just keep the data in the host memory and access from the GPU, or you still prefer to have the swapping?
So in the current scenarios, now what we have seen is to swap the data to the GPU memory. Given that the latency becomes more important while computing some of these deep learning models. But in future, if we have a very low latency link, it would be also possible to keep the data on the host memory. So when I said methods like memory coherency and unified memory can be evaluated, those are things where we can see how to keep the data in the CPU memory and still use it for computation. But today the technologies are not matured enough to give a low latency access to these.
Oh, definitely agree with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. If not, let's thank the speaker and Vinod, do you want to introduce Professor Geoffrey?
Yep, will do. Jairam, are you updating the recording?